Hello, everyone. My name is Grace, and I wanted to do a training for all those who are in the nonprofit field on how to slay corporate partnerships. So, a little bit about me. I am a fundraising consultant. I specialize in fundraising strategy, corporate partnerships, and innovation. I love innovating and trying new things and really amplifying the mission and how we're able to serve more people. I've been in the nonprofit field for over 8 years. I started at Habitat for Humanity and then became the director of philanthropy at United Food Bank. Started my own grassroots organization called Becoming Grace Foundation, where we support women and children in domestic abuse. And some of the successes I've had of reasons why you should trust my insight and my input is I've developed corporate partnerships to be 60% of revenue above individual giving for an organization. So that is typically unheard of. Usually individual giving is much higher than corporate, but I was really able to pioneer my, I would say my position at the organization and create an entire corporate partnerships before really corporate partnerships was addressed in the nonprofit field. Now we're seeing so many people, so many nonprofits hiring for corporate giving officers, but at that time that didn't exist, and so really been a pioneer for that. I've activated new revenue streams through volunteer engagement, which is typically unheard of. And one really big success, I raised over 400,000 before even starting and launching a media campaign, and that was a huge success that we surpassed our goal of the campaign before we even began. So why is it important to gain corporate partners? Well, corporate partnership fundraising is vital for nonprofits due to its high return on investment, which is 1,000 times more than that of individual philanthropy. 1,000 times more return on investment. The sector is growing 5 times faster, with average donations ranging from 22,000 to 1 million for corporations, compared to individual giving, which is around 60,000 to 1,000 is the range. And so success rates for corporate fundraising are 30% higher than individual fundraising, which is at 10%. Our donor retention is 80% compared to 45% in individual fundraising. Is a lot faster to be able to, and I would say a little bit easier to gain the trust and, funds, larger donations from corporate than it is individuals. So what types of funds are available with corporate partners? Well, we have grants, we have raise at the register. So you're talking about consumer crowdfunding. It could be raise at the register. It could be cost marketing. Every sale, 10% goes to this nonprofit. You're tapping into their they have marketing funds, right? So think about, they love commercials, radio, podcasts, billboards, events, PR, so you're tapping into, or you can tap into their marketing budget as well. Sponsorships, straight donations to sponsor an event or sponsor something. Then they have team building funds, right? So lots of organizations, they want to take their employees out or their team out for a fun experience. So now you have team building funds that you may not, think of. There's drives that they can do, right, to bring in-kind donations, employee giving and employee matching, right? So not only do you tap into their larger funds, but now you tap into all of their employees, which could be thousands of them at once with one partner, and their matches. So why focus on corporate partners? Well, the time is now. The time is now that corporations are being pushed towards philanthropy for employee retention and also for consumer trust. So why would they choose that company rather than a different company, right? Because they built trust within the community. They support certain nonprofits that speak to their heart. And so brand awareness for consumer trust. Of course, tax benefits, right? Tax benefits, they get to write it off, which helps their bottom line. Also, employee engagement, which, goes into employee retention, right? So they can keep their employees. Maybe they can even pay them a little bit less because, they'll stick around because they feel that this company genuinely cares about them. And so they're willing to be at a place where they feel the environment is really, really good. Right. And so, employee engagement, employee retention. So what makes you a great partner, right? So it needs to be a mutually beneficial relationship. It's a relationship. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of. Nobody wants to just be left high and dry. So it needs to be mutually beneficial. You make it easy for them. Point blank. You make it easy for them. It's typically an additional job on top of their own job, unless they have an entire, department for CSR. So if you can make it easy on them, they will love you a lot more. You execute well. You built their trust. If you can execute well and do as you say you're going to do with the funds and with whatever your partnership you've decided to do, they will come back and they will make sure that they will love you a lot more. You bring ideas to raise their brand. You don't just ask them for ideas, but you bring them. You include their employees to get involved. They absolutely love that. I would say that's probably a number one for them. Number one is employee engagement, and number two is media, right? Marketing media. You align with their pillars of giving and strategic plans. So if they do not, if you don't at all align with their giving or strategic plan, it's probably a waste of time for you to approach them and to start building a relationship. Wait until they may change their approach and see when you align better. The benefits to the nonprofit organization: it increases individual giving through their employees or consumers, right? And it also increases the giving through your supporters if you were to do matches. So maybe you have a campaign and you only raise maybe $5,000, but then you get a $5,000 matching corporate partner. Now you've just brought in probably around $10,000, but you might additionally bring in even an additional $5,000 because now you have a match. So more individuals will give to it because they want to see that impact, right? Raising nonprofit brand with their megaphone. They probably have a bigger megaphone than you do. So just having that combination really helps create more impact for the families. And of course, the impact for the families, right? With more funding available, we can impact more people and we can grow our programs more, and we can maybe hire more people so that we can do bigger work. And then it gains momentum through corporate team building events, or, it gains interest from companies that may be competitors of them. They see that they're partnering with you and now they want to partner because, well, they can't do that because then, they want to look just as good, or they're in competition with each other. So they really pay attention to those things. And then the possibility of gaining more partners with influencers that they may have attachment to. So you could think athletes, you could think celebrities, things of that sorts that have a higher influence. And also maybe their partners that they have built up within their own company. So think about maybe a restaurant that might have a partnership with a food industry, and now they partner together, matching donations with an in-kind donation of some sort. Or maybe it's a company that has sponsors already, and so them two come together in a sponsorship with double the funding to do a larger activation. So there's a lot of benefits for both company and also for the nonprofit organization. So how do you slay the pitch, right? We all want to know. Well, first of all, you want to start with researching. You want to research what they've done in the past, what they've currently done, who do they currently support, how much funding have they supported with them. You want to do a little bit of research, find out as much information as you can. Then you want to schedule a virtual or in-person meeting. and just get it in the books. And I think the biggest one is ask questions first in your pitch. Do not come to them with a laundry list of your sponsorships, of all the ways that you can get involved in all the things, and then you overload them with so much information. You want to gain information. Whether you're individually fundraising or your corporate fundraising, the whole point of building relationships is to get information about the person so you can understand them better and what their desires are and their needs and wants, right? That's what relationships are all about. It's mutual. And so ask questions to them. What's important to them? Maybe it's ROI. They need to really see that there is a return on investment in order to ask the company for money. Maybe it's media, PR, video content. Maybe they really just want their employees to be involved in something. So maybe it's a telethon, maybe it's a volunteer session that you can amplify it, right, with a match. Maybe that person you're talking to really wants to champion your cause because they have a personal story. Or maybe they just want personal stories, to be able to share on their network to really get to the heart of the consumers or their employees. There's a lot of reasons why. So what's important to them? What are they looking to do? So in the pitch, in the call, I would ask, so before we get into kind of ways we can get involved as a partner, I really would love to learn about, what are the things you've done in the past? What are maybe some things that worked or hasn't worked well, or if there's any exciting ideas that maybe you could, that you've been wanting to do that you haven't been able to do. I would just love to learn kind of where you guys are at right now and how we can really partner together. And so you gain all that information. You also gain information asking questions like, do they have grants? Do they have sponsorships? Do they, all the different buckets of funding that they could pull from. And then you want to think about during your research and before you really ask these questions, you want to think about what's your overall goal you want with this partnership. Okay, because partnerships have a variety of different strengths. Some might be really good at PR and megaphone, and maybe it's not a huge donation, but now they just amplified your message to so much farther, which will return in more partners, more individuals. Media is amazing for amplifying us. So what's your overall goal? Is it a big donation? Is it a match? Is it getting the foot in the door to have built a bigger built relationship in the future for a bigger ask? So think about what your overall goal is to achieve with that specific partnership, because they're all going to be a little bit different. Now, after you ask the questions, you want to have 3 ideas ready that align with their brand. So while you're listening to those questions that are being asked, maybe you have 3 ideas, and now you realize after hearing from them that one of those ideas are completely a terrible idea to even pitch. Maybe that's not going to work out. And so you're able to navigate now, hearing from them and having these ideas, you're able to navigate what to do next, right? Or maybe it's even tweaking or combining a couple of your ideas. Oh, well, maybe we could do it this way. And what are your thoughts on that? Is that something that you would be excited about and that you think would align with your brand and what you guys are really wanting to accomplish with this? And of course, sharing the impact of how that's going to make a huge difference in the nonprofit and in the families or people that you serve. So tips for partnerships: be creative. I can't say this enough. Be creative. Come up with ideas. That's what they love. They love ideas. Also, don't get too hard for yourself with these ideas. Okay, you can shoot for the sky, but try not to get too out of hand. I think a lot of people, the biggest mistake is that if they don't execute, they say all these big ideas, they don't execute well, that you lost their trust. So you want to do things that creatively are not too over the top and too hard, but can get the work done. And also, you always want to think about, the impact. So is it going to be truly helping people? And if it's not, then that probably shouldn't be doing it. Think about amplifying existing campaigns first. So if you're brand new into corporate fundraising, think about what you already have in your back door that you can do, that you can amplify, and then add in a corporate sponsorship to that, right? Or partnership to that. Make it fun and memorable. Make them come back, right? They want to pick you because that was fun. I love that. I remember when we did that. Be professional and organized with your system. The number one feedback I heard was, wow, you're the first person I call because you've always been so organized. You've always brought good ideas. And it's just, I know that when I come and call you, it's going to be good. And so you want to be organized and professional. Many nonprofits don't understand to have a system and to really be professional with it. You don't have to have a lot to be professional. You just have to have some good people and some good systems. What media opportunities can you bring for your organization with this? Think about that. Can you amplify this with some media? That is going to really make them excited about it. Maybe it's even you have a big email base. Maybe you have 40,000 subscribers. Include that. Look, you're going to be included in our email campaign for this, and it's going to be shared by 40,000 people or 10,000 or however much it is. So that's definitely an easy way to add kind of some media perks for them. And lastly, I just want to talk about, how do you continue growing it? How do you follow up? So first of all, it's all about creating genuine relationships. I can't say this enough. Be genuine. Be genuine. They can feel that, right? And you can feel that too, because no matter where you go, they'll follow you. And then thank them. Thank their donor. Thank your donor. Do a donor post. Do follow up with a end of year impact report, and also set up meetings to discuss the next year's plan. Have it in the books already that, hey, next year we're planning this. We can always move it, if something comes up, but I'd love to get something on the schedule for us to meet. So that way, it doesn't pass us by. We want to be prepared. So that way we have, a lot of time to be able to make sure that we do this well together and are on top of mind. So end of year impact report is great. Think about ways that you could just get them excited or continue the partnership in little ways. Maybe it's dropping off, a little trophy. Maybe you're tracking their volunteer time. Maybe you're tracking their donations for a certain amount of meals, and include them in these touch points. And so you want to make sure that you're building a good, stewardship plan with them. So make sure, create genuine relationships, thank donors, do an end of year impact report for the larger donors, so making sure that if they are larger, maybe those are the ones that you do it to, depending on how much time you have, and then set up meetings to discuss next year's plans. I really hope that this training has helped you guys and given you some really good information. If you want to partner with me on just having a thought leader next to you, being able to create systems and approaches, or even being on a call with you during a pitch to help you really solidify a good partner, or teaching you how to pitch, or there's a whole lot of things that goes into corporate fundraising strategy. And so if you are looking for that, I also can give strategy as a whole for fundraising, not just corporate. That is definitely my bread and butter that I absolutely love to do. So if you would like to learn more and partner together on a more consistent basis, you can email me at info@strategicfundraisingconsulting.com, or ping me on LinkedIn, Grace Bashara. Thanks, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day.